Hi guys, my name is Julie and this is my booktube channel. So there's been a lot going on in my world and I needed a little bit of a break, so I thought that we would play another game today. So get ready because we are about to jump into the book sacrifice tag. This tag was created by Ariel Bissett, and the challenge consists of different scenarios where you would have to sacrifice a book. So let's see what happens. First scenario, an overhyped book. Now, we're going to start this off with my favorite thing ever, a zombie apocalypse. So, it's the zombie apocalypse. You're in the library browsing for your next book to take home and read when, bam, zombies attack. Oh no! So you're running for your lives, and over the intercom comes an announcement saying, the zombies can only be stopped by overhyped books. Which is kind of weird if you think about it, but I mean, I'm okay with it. You really hate to do this because you're a book lover, and really anything to do with abusing books tears out a piece of your soul, but it's for survival and the greater good. So you deal with it, and you find the most overhyped book that you can, this book that everybody says is fabulous, and you are just like, meh, and it makes you feel a little bit better about chucking said book at the zombies. So if I'm in this situation, the book that I'm going to grab off the shelf is going to be The Great Gatsby. I am not a fan. And I know that this book is like loved by so many people. I mean, they made a movie of it with Leonardo DiCaprio, and I'll be honest, I didn't see it because I don't like The Great Gatsby. Like, I had to read it in high school, and I remember just reading it and thinking that Gatsby was the snottiest, most arrogant man, and Daisy just annoyed me. Like, I had to read it for my summer reading for my class, and I'm like, why am I spending my summer reading this garbage? Like, I read on my own. Teacher, I will find my own books that I will actually enjoy to read. But no, I had to read The Great Gatsby. But it worked out because now I have an overhyped book that everybody loves and I absolutely hate to chuck at the zombies and save my life. So there you go. Thanks for that, F. Scott Fitzgerald. All right. So scenario 2 is a sequel. Now, you have just left the salon and you have a rocking new hairstyle. Like, it is on point. Highlights, color, cut, blow dry, whatever it is that you do, your hair is on point and you are looking good. But all of a sudden, there's a torrential downpour! No! And the rain is coming and it's going to ruin your hair. So what do? You reach into your bag to grab the sequel to the book that you just finished to protect yourself from the oncoming rain. And that book is... I'm going to pause here and I'm going to put in like a disclaimer because I have a feeling that this choice is going to blow some people's minds and I am probably going to get a little bit of crap for it, maybe a lot of bit of crap for it. But I'm going to be honest with you and I'm going to explain myself, so here it is. My sequel that I chose is actually Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll. Now, I know, mind blown, right? Especially for people who know what I write. My debut novel, Alice, the Wonderland Chronicles, is a retelling of Lewis Carroll's novel, Alice in Wonderland. I am currently writing a sequel based on Through the Looking Glass. So, what? Let me explain. I loved Alice. Alice in Wonderland is a great book. It's a fun fantasy read. I really enjoyed it. Through the Looking Glass was rough for me. This is going to sound weird because you're going to be like, well, you read Alice in Wonderland and you liked Alice in Wonderland, so the hell. Well, Through the Looking Glass, for me, it's just all over the place. Like, it is a lot. Like, I had a really hard time following. I feel like with Through the Looking Glass, Lewis Carroll, like, took the whimsy and the fantasy and just, like, cranked it up and maybe went just a little too too far. Whereas Alice in Wonderland definitely has the fantastical elements, and it has like the fun, fantastical, whimsy things. There's still a plot line, and I can still follow it rather easily. Like, it all kind of makes sense and flows. To me, Through the Looking Glass just seemed a little bit too discombobulated at times, and I think part of this is also my writer in me coming out, because when I was doing and when I'm planning my retelling, like, one of my goals with the books that I write, my retellings, I want to stay very close to the source. Through the Looking Glass made this incredibly difficult because I'm trying to find and keep a plot for Alice in Wonderland going and making sense and, just flowing well, but at the same time still sticking to Through the Looking Glass. And with Through the Looking Glass jumping all over the place, it made it really, really hard. So Through the Looking Glass, as much as it pains me and hurts my heart, it's going to cover my hair because I'm a little bitter. Scenario 3 is a classic, and this one actually was kind of hard because, I'll be honest, every single book that I picked for this book tag was a classic. I don't really know what that says about me and my book tastes, but I've already told you that I don't really read big girl books, so there's that. So you're in a lecture for your English class, and your English teacher is giving the most boring lecture of your entire life. He's talking about this classic book, and he is going on and on and on and on and on about how wonderful it is, and you have just gotten to the point where you will do anything to shut him up. So you take the thing that is closest to you, which coincidentally happens to be the book that he is going on and on and on about, and you chuck it at his head. You take one for the team. Because I'm pretty sure if he's doing this, the whole class is going to agree with you. I'm a teacher. I'm allowed to say it. It's okay. So the classic that I chose was A Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This was another book that I had to read for my assigned reading for high school, and I had it over the summer again, and Now, this book may also have a bit of a bad rep just because of the placement and timing when I read it, because, again, I had to read it for summer reading, and I was kind of bitter about that. But then the other reason is it was paired with 2 other books, and I really, really, really liked those other books. I had to read Lord of the Flies, and I had to read 1984. Brave New World was just kind of like, meh, compared to the other 2. And while it's really not a terrible book, in my opinion, it's definitely not my favorite, and if I was sitting in a class listening to a teacher drone on and on about it, I would get pretty temperamental. Number 4, your least favorite book of life. Ugh. Again, I'm on a classics binge for this particular tag, and since I'm on a classics binge, I know that there are millions of people who love this book and who are probably going to hate me. But maybe there are some people who agree with me, and maybe they're like just waiting for somebody to like stand up and talk about it and say, yeah, this book is terrible. And if that's the case, I am your girl. So the scenario for this one is you're hanging out at a bookstore when all of a sudden, bam, the world turns into a frozen wasteland. Everyone freezes, people are dying, human popsicles everywhere, and the only thing that you can do to survive is to burn a book. Okay, and so this is bad. Like, burning books is bad. We do not like or agree with burning books. So to do this has to absolutely be the book that you like hate more than anything in the entire world, because then at least that way you're not like feeling so incredibly bad about it. My book that I hate more than anything of all the books that I've read in my life is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Again, another assigned reading by my teachers in high school. Like, I don't know what these people were trying to do. Like, I was a reader. Were they trying to get me to stop? Because really, with these books that they're giving me, there were some days I wondered. So, Huckleberry Finn. I'll tell you a secret about Huckleberry Finn. And now that I have securely graduated, I can say this with relative confidence that it's not going to come back and bite me in the butt. Huckleberry Finn is the only book in my entire life that I used the Spark Notes for. Like, I could not. I tried so hard and so many times to finish that book, and I just could not. I do not like Mark Twain's writing style, which, again, that's probably going to get me, like, blacklisted somewhere, I'm sure, because everybody loves and talks about Mark Twain and how wonderful he is and what a great writer he is. And Mark Twain and we do not have that relationship. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because obviously I can't really talk too much about it because I didn't finish it, but I couldn't get into the story, and then it made me feel like there was something wrong with me because it's amazing and everybody loves it, and I can't stand the stupid thing. But yeah, I did not, and I do not, and it is the book that I burned to save my life in case of a frozen wasteland apocalypse. So what did you think about my choices for the book sacrifice tag? It was really kind of weird how it turned out to be a classics kind of collection, but I guess it's how it worked out. So tell me, tag to all of you, especially you dust covers for Wanderlust. I want to know what you would choose to sacrifice to save yourself in these 4 scenarios. So go find your overhyped book, your sequel, your classic, and your least favorite book that you would sacrifice to save yourself, at worst case scenario, of course, and then record it and tag me back so I can see and watch and comment. But for now, I have to go. I have things to do and books to read and books to write and all of that bookish stuff. So until next time, happy reading.